Our next guest played quarterback in the NFL for more than a decade, former Pro Bowler as well, now turned NFL analyst for CBS. He won a Super Bowl as well with his time in the league. My man, Steve Beuerlein, dropping on by the show. Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing good, DA. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How was your Christmas?
It was fine. It was hectic like usual. This time of year is a little bit. Sorry about that. This time of year is a little bit crazy, with all the travel and with the Christmas falling on a Monday this year. It was a little bit nutty, but it worked out great. And the Santa came and all the good things that are supposed to happen around Christmas happened. So it was a good time.
Very cool. Good to hear. Steve Beuerlein is our guest this morning on the show. And we've been talking all morning and yesterday morning as well about James Harrison to the New England Patriots. Number one, let's start with the football aspect. Do you think that James Harrison helps out the Patriots from a football standpoint?
I don't know how he's going to help that much from a football standpoint, to get in there and I guess in third down situations, passing situations, he could be an asset because he's in football shape and he can bring it off the edge, and it'd be a new look for him. And they really don't have. That's one thing on their defense that they really don't have. If you look at it closely, they don't have a dominant pass rusher coming off the edge. So I think he's a guy that could definitely help them. But I sure as heck don't think for a second that that's what Bill Belichick signed him for. You know what I mean?
You think that he signed him for intelligence?
I think he signed him for every other reason that possibly could be out there. And I predicted this, actually. You can ask Steve Tasker and Tom McCarthy. We were sitting at I think it was our production meeting last weekend, and we saw that he had been released. And I said, I guarantee you Bill Belichick's going to pick him up. I knew it right away that was what was going to happen, and only because it's just so consistent with who Bill Belichick is. And he's going to push him for intelligence, both offensively and defensively. He did it for the simple fact that it's going to create so much buzz among the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, and that's who I'm sure considers to be his number one threat in the AFC. So that you could go all kinds of different ways as to why it makes sense for Belichick to do it. And sure enough, I mean, he didn't disappoint. He came through and did it. And now the question is going to be how bitter is James Harrison, and how much is he going to be willing to do whatever he's got to do to sell his soul to get another Super Bowl ring.
Okay, so this is interesting. I mean, how much information can one player give, let's say the Patriots? In this instance, how much intel can James Harrison give to the Pats?
Well, you got to think about this now. How many weeks does he have? He's got probably, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Until the AFC Championship from the time they signed him. So there's a lot of intel. It happens a lot in the NFL where there'd be a released veteran player, or even not even so much a veteran player, but a player from an opponent who's coming up that following week, where you feel like you might be able to pick his brain a little bit, maybe get a little bit of a tip on certain things, and teams will do that when you're talking about just trying to get a little bit of an edge during the course of the season on a particular game. But this is a lot different. This is a veteran player who's spent his whole career with an organization, who knows everything about that organization, and who will probably be willing to sell his soul to try to get that ring. And he knows Ben Roethlisberger, he knows Le'Veon Bell, he knows all the offensive linemen, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, what they like, what they don't like, what their tips are, when they're in a pass stance versus a run stance. And then obviously he knows all the signals and all the calls and all the adjustments that the Steelers defensively would make as well. So it's going to cause a lot of problems. Fortunately for the Steelers, they have time too to kind of slowly start integrating any kind of changes they need to make in anticipation of being in that AFC Championship game. But they can't get so caught up in it that that they don't focus on their opponents. So, but they do have 4 weeks. I think it'll be a different Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They will change all the things they possibly can in order to make things more difficult on the New England Patriots to have any kind of a tip on them. So, but it's a very interesting dynamic that has been created by this happening.
Steve Beuerlein joins us here on the show, NFL on CBS. You say selling your soul if you're James Harrison. Sounds like James Harrison also wanted to be released a bunch of times this year because he wasn't getting enough snaps. Do you look down on James Harrison if he tried to kind of shoot his way out of town and is willing to give up all the state secrets?
No, I don't look down on him at all. It's part of life in the NFL. I mean, shoot, you guys know as well as anybody that you guys study this stuff. Seldom do players come to the end of their career and end things on the terms that they want. And if he really truly was looking to be released, which everything points to the fact that he had requested it several times, he was not happy, and it's a business, and many of us, myself included, got caught up in that business cycle from a negative perspective during the course of your career, and to have an opportunity to potentially deliver some kind of a knockout punch the other way back is a motivation for a lot of people. If you get that opportunity, so I wouldn't look down on him at all. I mean, his role right now is to help the New England Patriots win a Super Bowl, and for him to get another Super Bowl ring. And just because he knows an organization who might be the number one competition for the New England Patriots, and just because he had spent a bunch of years with the Pittsburgh Steelers, is not a reason why he shouldn't be willing to do whatever he can do to help the New England Patriots win a Super Bowl.
In Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes is going to get his first start Week 17 as the Chiefs have the number 4 seed in the AFC locked up. Could this provide any problems going into the playoffs if Pat Mahomes plays really, really well? Could there be anybody inside that locker room going, I don't know, if Alex Smith struggles early in our playoff game, maybe we want the kid in there?
Well, I guarantee you that if he goes out and lights it up and plays well, that will be a consideration that Andy Reid will have to make, depending on the course of again, Andy Reid would never admit that right now. Nobody would ever admit that at this point, because Alex Smith, for the most part, has done a fantastic job this whole season. So Alex Smith is the starting quarterback, but if Patrick Mahomes goes out there and really looks comfortable and plays well and shows the attributes and the skill sets that they drafted him for, and that he's ready and has a comfort factor with the offense. He's not going to be able to obviously run the full offense at the level of Alex Smith, but if they can put a game plan package together for him that they're comfortable with, they definitely would not hesitate to go to him if they felt that they were in jeopardy of losing a football game at this point in the season. So yeah, I think there's definitely a dual purpose for this whole thing, to keep Alex Smith healthy, but also to see if Patrick Mahomes is ready.
So Jimmy Garoppolo has looked amazing since he's played the last month. And I always try to resist hyperbole. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But, man, he looks the part of a superstar, of a leader, of a comeback guy, of just a star quarterback in this league. Give me the reason I should slow my roll on anointing Jimmy Garoppolo the next star.
I would love to give you a reason. I really would. And I truly felt like it was a 50-50 proposition that he was going to work out to be their guy, because I had not seen enough out of Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'll be honest, I did not respect the intangibles that he obviously does have now. I'm convinced. I did not anticipate him being as pure and as comfortable of a pocket passer as he actually is. The tutelage that he's received under Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniel obviously has paid extreme dividends for him. I tip my hat to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch up in San Francisco for making this happen, because I'm with you. I'm looking at it saying, holy cow, this could be exactly what that organization needed to immediately become a relevant football team. And he does. He looks so comfortable out there. He makes it look so effortless. Maybe it's because he's just out there, just winging it right now, and the expectations were low for him coming in. I don't know. He looks too good to me for this not to be a legitimate big-time difference maker for the 49ers organization. And maybe, just maybe, they might have found – I believe they have found their guy for the next indefinite future. I mean, it's a fantastic thing to watch for that organization.
Yeah, I see it that way as well. Steve Beuerlein joining us here on the show. You see him on CBS, the NFL on CBS. He played 17 years in the NFL. You see him on the CBS Sports Network on NFL Monday QB. That's Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can follow him on Twitter as well, at Steve Beuerlein. Steve, it's always good to catch you up, buddy. Thanks so much for all of your help for us in 2017. Onwards and upwards in 2018, and have a very, very happy new year to you and yours.
Same to you, D. You know I enjoy it, so don't hesitate to call anytime. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. Steve Beuerlein joining us here on the show.